Hi all, welcome to Beanie Composter. This is going to be a quick video on things I'd like to see maybe changed on the Hotbin and bits that you could buy that are not available from the Hotbin composting company. So welcome to our channel. If you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and please leave some comments on things that you would like to see changed, or things you'd like to be available that you could buy that aren't. As your Hotbin gets older and older, the hatch door, because of all the pressure that's on it constantly, will eventually start warping. And Ellie and Kate, they've got a channel on gardening and do some stuff on the Hotbin. They did mention in the comments that their 7-year-old Hotbin, the door hatch had warped quite a lot, and they were concerned that that was letting air and water into their Hotbin. So you cannot buy one of these doors on the Hotbin composting website. I would like to see this as a spare part, because number one, if your Hotbin is old and the door does start to warp, then it is going to let air and probably some more water into the Hotbin, which isn't ideal. Plus, the main structure of the Hotbin is intact and not damaged, but it's only the hatch door that's warped. So rather than having to buy a whole new unit, which would cost you, £250–60, if you could just buy a replacement hatch door, that would be a much cheaper option of making your Hotbin airtight and rain tight again. Also, because the hatch door is one thing you need to always take off when you're emptying your Hotbin, there's a possibility that if you put it to one side, you could accidentally tread on it and damage it if you're not careful. So there's another reason why I think this should be a spare part on the Hotbin company's website. Another thing is this metal mesh plate that goes on the front on the Mark 1 and slips down the side on the Mark 2. They're exactly the same size on the Mark 1 and the Mark 2, so I don't see why the Hotbin company can't have those as a replacement part. I've seen on second-hand Hotbins some of them that are damaged by it just going rusty or just weathering over time. So if you are going to buy a second-hand one, or even if your own one, this is damaged, then yes, you can buy these sheets of mesh on eBay or Amazon, but to cut it to the size, not everyone's got the tools. So I think buying one of those as a spare part on the Hotbin website would be ideal. Now the Hotbins sell a plinth that you can put your Hotbin on to raise it up. So when you do undo this screw cap to catch your leachate, then it makes it easier. But you don't need to really buy that plinth, you can just put your Hotbin on a raised platform. But when it comes to unscrewing this cap, as I noticed in the last video that we done on how much water can go into the Hotbin, as soon as I opened that, the water sort of came straight out straight away, and I was a bit unaware of that. What I would like to see is a tap on this, because there's a lot of, let's be honest, most people that are gardening and probably hot composting are a little bit older, and even for myself, I've not reached 50 yet, but I'm finding back pains, knee pains, it creeps up on us all. And for an older person or someone with a slight disability, getting down each time just to unscrew this on and off can be probably a bit of a drama. So what I would like to see is a tap that you could just screw on there. A tap that could screw on there that you could just open on and off. Although for some of you that are quite practical, then making a tap to fit the Hotbin is going to be maybe quite easy and a bit of a challenge, but not everyone has got tools and is as practical and able to do that. So if you were just able to get either a tap that's screwed straight onto the, onto this thread there, or even like I've done there, one that you could screw on yourself, that's going to be much easier to collect your leach aid. You could even put it on a hose pipe if your Hotbin's in an awkward place, and it would just make life easier, I think, for people. And it's not really too much of a modification for the Hotbin company to do. Maybe I should paint on it and, get someone in China to make them for me, and we can sell them on the channel. Let me know what you think. But I think that would be a real benefit for most people, and I probably understand what the Hotbin company are going to say. People could knock it and damage it, and it could end up, getting knocked. But let's be honest, you have taps like this on water butts, and how often do they get damaged? Not very often. And if it was a part that you could buy, then you've got that option of either purchasing it or not. Another thing I'd like to see available is the actual charcoal that's inside here, the bag of charcoal that stops all the smells. I'm sure over time, whether that continues to work, I don't know, but if it was available and you've bought a second-hand one, where a lot of people I've read, and they've even said on the channel that they take them out. If you did happen to buy one that doesn't have the charcoal bag in there, then it would be nice if that was another option that was available on the Hotbin company. In my last video, I did an experiment of how much water gets into the Hotbin, and it was quite incredible really to see in just one day's rainfall that we collected 100 ml just in the Mini. And water is going to sit on the aeration valve at the top and seep through, and you've got like some gaps all around where water can get in. So I think if you are in an area where you have heavy rainfall, although the Hotbin companies say it doesn't really affect it, I am sure that it does cause some significant temperature fall, and it does make your compost go quite wet. So it would be quite nice to see maybe a winter cover that you could put over the Hotbin, or some adaptation that you could have a removable cover for the winter and the summer. Would be actually quite a nice feature for a lot of people. Although you can buy the thermometer on the Hotbin website, I would like to see a choice between the short one and the long one. So I prefer the long one, and I'm pretty sure now the only one that you can buy and is available is the shorter one, which I don't find as easy to use as the longer one. So it would be nice if you did have a choice of a longer one or a shorter one. So that would be another thing I would like to see as a spare part. So I've given you my opinions, what I'd like to see on the Hotbin company's website as extra spare parts, and a few modifications that I would like to see made to the Hotbin. I'm not sure if they would do that, or whether it's viable for them, cost effective, those sort of things, but let me know what your opinions are, what you think of my modifications, and whether they would benefit you. And if you've got any ideas that maybe if we all bring it together, the Hotbin company might just happen to bring out some different things for us. So thanks for watching. don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, happy composting and enjoy.